said, hey, Mark, you like beer? I'm like, yeah. She said, no, like, you seem to really like beer.
With the radio station K-Log, you can sign up to go on a Squirrel Bridge tour.
And she came out yelling at us, telling us she was calling the police. And
What I did wrong, I decided to wear my Converses.
we charge Gabby $120, and everyone else gets charged $50.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Connections and Cowlets, the podcast where we introduce you to the local faces behind local places. I'm your host, Gabby Graves, your hometown lender with Synergy One Lending, and this is Wayne Dizzle Rosinski.
It's true. I am Wayne Dizzle.
He is our podcast producer, and he's filling in for
Shizzle.
For Shizzle. He is filling in for Katie, who is in Hawaii right now.
And we're very happy
Loser.
for her.
Nice. We are so happy for her,
happy.
Katie. Next time you better bring us. And today we are here with the Crafted Brew Fest guys, Marc Silva.
Hi.
Rondell.
Ron Dizzy.
Yeah,
that'll be me.
These two guys are in charge of the Crafted Brew Fest and basically started it from the beginning and has grown it to what it is now. So we're going to dig into that, dig into SQUIRRELFEST, all the great things. We're going to talk about beer. Love some beer. First, we are going to touch on our new segment, I've Got a Guy. So that's where we shout out a local company that can help you with a problem that you need fixed here in Cowlitz County. So this week's I've Got a Guy is...
New View Irrigation and Landscaping, Matthias. Give him a big, anything you need.
Matthias from New View Irrigation and Landscaping.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
Great guy.
He hooked up
Really good work.
He hooked up Rondell's irrigation
Yes.
sprinkler system.
Yes.
It's on Wi-Fi?
Yes, it is.
You can water your yard
I could
from
water
your
my
phone.
yard from Germany if I wanted to. Yeah, anywhere in the world.
Who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah.
So there you go.
You can have
Awesome.
an automatic come on and certain days, and he does great work. Definitely pavers, retaining walls,
All the
anything you guys
things.
need.
Nice. This is the season to get those things done, guys. In
It
fact,
is.
that season's almost over. So hurry up and call him because, you got a couple weeks. All right. So we're going to jump right into it. I am fascinated by you guys just in general because you have a podcast. We have a podcast. So every time we get together, we love to kind of talk shop.
Yeah.
What made you guys take the leap from creating Brewfest as an organization, Crafted Brewfest, which I went to the first one. I just want to say that. The original OG first one, I went to that. How did you jump from that to creating a podcast about it?
Well, I guess, so last year, I started listening to a podcast and about all the things happening called Grit and Grain podcast up in Tacoma and all the wonderful things happening in that area. And I was thinking, I'm always looking for us to grow the beer fest and get more people down to Cowlitz County, get people to Longview. And I was trying to think, how do we grow this? And I said, podcast. So anytime I have a crazy idea, the first person I call is Rondell. And Rondell is a tech guy by nature. He runs the website for Crafted, for our Rotary Club, which Crafted is a Rotary Club event. All the proceeds go to our local community service projects. And
Nice.
So he does all sorts of things for our Rotary Club. I was like, hey, Rondell, I know you're not busy enough. I know I'm not busy enough.
I know, right?
I have an idea for a podcast. And Rondell said, and Rondell always his go-to line is, to be honest with you. And Rondell always says that. So he's like, Mark, to be honest with you, I've been wanting to do something like this.
Nice.
And I said, awesome. So I
That's
was
the
like,
worst that can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so I was like, all right, well, Rondell's on board. That's the very first big box that has to be checked. And then the next thing was, I wanted to record in front of a live audience. I wanted to have audio in the background. I wanted to have engagement with an audience. Mm-hmm. And I also wanted to be able to drink beer and share beer because drinking beer and sharing beer is always fun.
Totally.
And so I needed a location, and I needed a sponsor. And I said, well, maybe I could just combine the two. And so Andy and Katie Gerson, who own J Squared, great friends, great community partners. And so I called Andy and I said, I have this idea. My buddy Rondell is on board. He says, I would think we could sponsor it, and I would love for you to use our event space, the garden room at J Squared. So I said, all right.
Beautiful space.
Beautiful space. I now have a way to pay for it. I now have a way to actually do it because Rondell does all the tech stuff. It doesn't happen without Rondell. Yeah. And now I know John Paul at Cookin, K-Log, and the Blitz. They also have the Cowlitz Podcast Network. And so I said, hey, I have this idea. I have all these things lined up, and I have a way to pay for it. He said, that's great, but why wouldn't you should record it in a studio, that way it sounds great. I'm like, I don't want it to sound great.
Right.
And we want that,
Atmosphere.
That energy,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. And so he said, all right, well, yeah, we could do it. And so I was like, all right, I now have someone who knows what they're doing, Rondell. We now have a way to pay for it, location. We have a way to get the podcast out to the listeners. Now I just have to make sure Rotary is okay with us doing this. And, we'll talk about stuff that's happening with Rotary and our community. And so then I went to our club treasurer, Chris Searing, who's an amazing guy. And I said, before you say no, Chris, Rondell's on board. I know you love Rondell. I was like, yes, I do. All right. I have a location. I have a way to pay for it, most importantly. And John Paul's on board. He's like, all right, I will give this my blessing. I said, all right, so that's how that all happened.
I love that.
Yeah, you made it hard for him to say no.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, you can say no if you need to,
That's
but
the
like
trick to it.
we took care of everything. so-
Exactly. It's not going to cost you anything. No time of yours. No money of
Exactly.
yours. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and it's, when Katie and I have experienced this too, when you have a passion for something, because that's how we felt. We wanted to connect the community. We wanted people to stop saying, there's nothing to do in Cowlitz County. There's no good places to eat in Cowlitz County. That is absolutely not true. And we are full of great places to shop, eat, great people to be with in your community. Nonstop events all summer long, which we're going to get into later on this month. So what we found is since this was such a passion of ours, the doors just kept opening. Kind of like you said, you asked Rondell, he also wanted to do this.
Right.
You talked to, John Paul at the radio. All the doors start to open when you are looking for the opportunity, right? So Katie and I love to tell people like, hey, if you have a passion, don't wait for all the pieces to be there. They're not going to be there. Just jump in and you will figure it out as you go.
Absolutely.
It's very true.
So how many years has Crafted been going on as an event?
Connections in College is brought to you by ServPro of Longview, Kelso, the #1 residential and commercial cleanup company in the United States. They can help with smoke and fire damage, mold remediation, vandalism, and so much more. Remember that you have the final say over who is in your house, not the insurance company. Locally owned, locally operated. ServPro of Longview, Kelso.
Yes, absolutely. They are local heroes. They brought the Cow Deli back to life.
Back to life.
Back to life. This podcast is also brought to you by JoJo and Coco Boutique, a woman-owned business where they focus on the relationship, not the sale. The styles are quality. They have timeless pieces that work for women of literally any age. Stop in for you or someone you love. You'll leave with stylish pieces and feeling great about yourself. JoJo and Coco Boutique is on the corner of Commerce and Hudson.
So Crafted first year was 2018, and really just shout out to Jen Wills, her husband Chris, Justin Brown as well. But really, it was Jen Wills' vision, her passion. She's been a guest on your podcast, been a guest on our podcast,
Yes.
Yep.
and now our city manager. Just great energy, great person, and she had the idea. She approached me one day after Rotary and said, "Hey, Mark, you like beer?" I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "No, like you seem to really like beer." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I love craft beer. This is true. Do you want to help me do a beer fest?" And I couldn't say yes fast enough.
Right.
And that first year, 2018, we had no idea what we were doing. We were running around the whole day with our heads cut off, and it was just a series of chaos. But at the end of the day, we hugged, and I tell you what, after 12 hours of running around R.A. Long Park at the Civic Circle, a beer never tasted so good.
I bet. Well, I was there, and it did not seem like chaos. It seemed very organized. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, make it work. That's
Yeah,
good.
kudos to you guys. And it's something our community hasn't had before, and we have so many great local breweries that we really needed it, honestly, to showcase our local treasures.
Yeah.
We've always, and we've had great places for a long time. Starting back with I want to say Five Dawns was one of the first originals. Back almost, 15 years ago now or
15
longer.
years ago, Ashtown as well.
Yes.
Scythe, River Mile 38, Explorer Brewing.
Yes.
Even McMinimans down in Kalama. They've all been great partners, and we really strive to showcase our local breweries at Crafted as well and try to give them as much support.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. That is, okay, I love that. And Jen Wills, yes, we are huge fans. I say all the time, she's our fearless leader. So it started in 2018, and you said Crafted goes back to Rotary. So was this something that that was the original pitch of how to create Crafted was to Rotary when you said, I already have the funding, I already have the communications, I already have the tech.
Yeah, so when we first did it, we Jen and I and a couple other Rotarians, we went and we pitched the Rotary Club of Longview. We have a board of directors. We went and pitched them and said, hey, we have this idea. We'll get sponsors, we'll get beer, we'll get volunteers, we'll figure out how to market it. And we did. We figured it out, and the Rotary Club's been very supportive, and it's great because we've been able to raise money for our community, and all these service projects they happen through Rotary fundraisers.
Okay, and Rondell, you're a part of Rotary too, right?
Yes, I am. This is going on year number 4.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of Rotaries here locally, Longview and Kelso, multiple different organizations.
Another one I've heard.
Yeah, there's 2 in Longview.
Okay, so which one are you guys in?
We're in the noon edition.
The noon edition. Yeah. Okay, is that Mary's in the noon edition, right?
Yeah, Mary is. Yes, she is.
Mary, yeah.
She's wonderful.
Yes, that's awesome. Okay, so and a big part of Rotary in our community is everything that they give back to, all different sectors of our community, but especially youth in our community. So for people that don't know, Rotary is a national nonprofit organization that...
International.
Thank you. It is an international, all around the world, nonprofit organization that focuses on service. So service above self for your community. So just real quick, what kind of projects do you guys do at the Noon Rotary?
When I came on... I don't think we do it anymore, but we did the walk and knock,
Yeah.
which you go around the neighborhood
here.
food drive, and people left canned foods, whatever on their doorstep. That was good. The flags that you see,
Yes.
we're about to actually put out this coming week. Is it
the freedom
next week? Yeah, next week.
Yeah, the freedom flags.
The freedom flags.
So
yes.
4 times a year we do those flags. I'm also on a crew that does that. Besides that, Tour de Blast, I also do their website.
Oh,
right. I just remodeled
up.
that site. That's coming up next month. Besides that, what else we have?
Literacy. Is huge for us in our community. We support the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Yes.
And we give away hundreds of, probably thousands of books.
Scholarships
As well. We volunteer at Community House on Broadway, and also we give out tons of money to other nonprofits that are serving our community.
Correct.
We have a process for them to apply with us, and then able to support different things that they have going on with our community as well.
I love that. I love that. So the Rotary is basically just a huge service organization that gives back to every sector of our community, and really kind of is like the glue that brings us together. You guys have events that the funds for these events go back to great places in the community, but it also brings us together, even like the freedom flags.
Right.
I personally don't live by the lake, and I don't have a flag set up at my house, but driving by the lake during those 4 times of year and seeing them out, and it's grown so much, it gives me the goosebumps. I love seeing it in our community. So I love what you guys are doing. And I can't believe that for like $120 a year, they come out, put the flag up, take it down. They install like a little spike thing in your yard for just $120 a year.
It's $50.
It's $50. It's
actually stop! What?
We charge Gabby $120, and everyone else gets charged $50.
Yeah.
But now it's a discount.
I think that's a screeching deal, man. Like,
it's
$50.
$50. I can't go to the grocery store.
We actually store it for you.
We
put
it out. And
we put it out. We pick it up.
I've been able to take my oldest daughter, Lauren, with me to help her do
Fun.
it. Yeah, but I say do community service now, so it's not coordinated later. I tell her that. So, and I've only had one person ever approach me, and my buddy Seth, who moved up north now. But we were picking up her flag, and she came out yelling at us, telling us she was calling the police and to stop stealing her flag. And I came around the corner with my hands up. I was like, "Man, we're with Rotary," and she said, "I don't care who you're with. I'm calling the police." And they said, "No, we have a bunch of flags in the back of his truck. We're supposed to be picking these up. Right. We'll bring it back in next holiday." She said, "Oh, okay." And now she sees me. She comes down and gives me a hug. So we're good now. We're good.
Yeah.
Well, after threatening to put you in jail, I would hope she is nice to you now.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I put on my yellow jacket and my Rotary hat on so you can know,
And I'm lucky. I have sidewalks to do. Rondell's somewhere on the hill with no sidewalks.
I'm in East Hills.
Yeah.
So, up there, we my wife did it with me quite a few past couple times, and the first time I took her, she actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's nice having, like, a navigator with you, you know, so you in and out, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
One person can jump out of the car.
Exactly.
Put the flag down. The other person can be driving, knowing
Yep.
where to go.
Exactly.
It's like UPS drivers.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's really fun. I might have some volunteers for you guys. I feel like that'd be a good thing for my kids to do. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Do they have to be Rotarians to help?
No, when it comes to volunteering,
them up.
sign them up.
Sign up.
Yeah.
Jacob, Julian. Actually, maybe the whole Mark Morris. We could turn this into a football team thing. This could be
I love
great
it.
for our
Yeah.
community.
I love it.
Okay, awesome. So you guys are both involved in Rotary Noon Edition, and then the Crafted Brew Fest. It has, like you said, grown over the years, taken on a life of its own. So it went from a first year community event in 2018 to a podcast, and now it is on year 7.
So, yes and no. So, this is actually, so we did 2018, 19. This is year 6.
Oh.
Couple year break there because of COVID. And so we did 2018, 2019. And then 22 was at the event center when we were first coming out of COVID. Of course, we're like, well, we're doing it in September, so we don't know what the weather's going to be. And of course, it ended up being 80 degrees and sunny, but we were all inside the event
can't
center.
win.
And then 23 and 24, we were back at the Civic Circle. And this year, we're excited to be back at the Civic Circle again.
Awesome. And you guys have partnered with another great another event in town, SQUIRRELFEST.
That's correct.
Which to me makes so much sense. Our community, one great thing about our community, and not just here in Longview, but all of Cowlitz County and beyond, is there's always something to do on a Friday, Saturday in the summer, in the spring and summer. We got a festival for everything.
Yes, we did.
So anything and anyone. So you guys decided to partner with SQUIRRELFEST.
Yeah, so SQUIRRELFEST is also put on by our Rotary Club. SQUIRRELFEST was founded by the Sandbaggers. I am in the Sandbaggers as well. By far the youngest sandbagger. And when we're not playing practical jokes that hopefully people find funny, like this most recently for International Squirrel Appreciation Day, ChatGPT and us, we put together a press release saying that we released 20,000 squirrels at the lake. And luckily, our dear friends at KLOG put out the press release, and then they were nice enough to send it over to TDN. TDN put it out. And then I was talking with several people at the city, and they said, Mark, were you behind this? And I said, I don't know what you guys are talking about. They said, well, we found it hilarious because people kept calling City Hall, asking why would they release 20,000 squirrels at Lake Sacagawea?
Well, I'm glad the city had a sense of humor about it, because they could have been pretty ticked off. Their phones just ringing all day. People are upset about squirrels.
No, they said they were just dying laughing every time someone called about that. But no, but back to SQUIRRELFEST. So Sandbagger started SQUIRRELFEST. Actually, Pat Seri, it was his vision. And if you know Pat Seri, he is a saint. He is an amazing person in our community, also in Rotary with us.
Right. Yes.
He had the vision, said, hey, Sandbaggers, this is a great way, something that could be unique for Longview. And so now, we have 9 squirrel bridges around the lake, and please, squirrels, use the squirrel bridges. It's for your safety, and
Stay away from my yard.
stay away from Rondell's.
Don't run in front of my car.
Golf course yard, and just a great family-friendly event. Always the third Saturday in August. Tons and tons of stuff for the kids to do. A lot of free activities for the kids to do. Tons of great food. And I've ran the beer garden there for several years. And so instead of trying to do a beer garden and the beer festival, I only have one chaotic weekend a year. And I know my wife appreciates that as well.
Yes.
And Rondell, is right there. Last year, I think he went 30 hours without sleep to take photos and video.
I know. I came straight out from working night shift, 12 hours, right into it. And what I did wrong, I decided to wear my Converses. Right?
Ooh.
And my feet that day was just,
You needed more back support.
I
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
I know, right? So, but yeah, it was fun though, because I mean, that one was the very first one I recorded.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Right? Because I came on when we came out of COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't. I edited that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that one was definitely a big learning experience too, but it was fun. And at the end of it, we had I wasn't there for that. The tree fell, but But it's definitely been a fun.
So I'll explain a little bit.
Whoa.
So wasn't there
The
when the
squirrels
tree
went
fell,
out with a bang.
The squirrels
yeah.
decided we want a park back.
Yeah, they took back the park. Well, Mother Nature had other
Yeah.
plans for us last year. So, typically August we have pretty good weather. Well, last year we had a thunder and lightning, heavy rain,
Monsoon, if you will. Yeah.
Basically. So we were working with our local fire department. They were on conference calls with the National Weather Service because they were tracking the storm that basically moved up I-5, and we stayed open till 6 o'clock. Last call was 5:30, closed at 6. 6:05, the heavens opened up on us, and it was just monsoon. So that was the fastest I've ever seen Rotarians move to get everything that needed to be under a tent under a tent. So.
Right.
We closed 4 hours early last year. That was a bummer, but we still raised money for the community, and we still brought all the community together. So that was still great.
I love that. That is fantastic. The community really comes out for Squirrel Fest. It's quite funny. And if you're from here, it's just like, oh yeah, squirrels. But if you're not from here and you come to this community and you see the way that we worship squirrels,
I thought it was the weirdest thing.
It is.
When just moving here, I'm like, what's going on with these things up here? Why do we have these little bridges? And it's like, oh, it's for the squirrels. And I'm like,
But
no, seriously.
but
why?
seriously, why?
Yeah, it's the craziest thing.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what though. So we do. So John Paul and the radio station, they do guided tours of the squirrel bridges.
Oh.
And if you're into Disney, it's kind of like a Jungle Cruise thing where they tell cheesy jokes the whole time.
Right.
But they do 2 an hour, and they sell out every
Right.
single time. And the amount of people who come from out of town for those tours, it's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so let's backtrack a second. So with the radio station K-Log, you can sign up to go on a Squirrel Bridge tour. And it's like a tour bus where John Paul himself takes you and
Yeah.
with his voice.
So thankfully, John Paul is not driving. I think we could all agree that's good. If you've ever driven around the Old West Side, you would agree with that. So there is a driver, and it's actually our local state senator, Jeff Wilson, has a 5-ton
Army truck.
Army truck, yep.
What a
exactly.
hoot.
Or Marine truck. And
The visual's getting better.
And so someone, I forget who the driver is, but they drive it. John Paul's in the back, and him and Nathan Newman, who owns the local Papa Murphy's franchises, they shift off because it's kind of exhausting. And they
can imagine.
go and they have a route they take, and they have all these little quirks they say and little puns, and it's pretty cool. And they're sold out all the time. It's pretty awesome.
So instead of like touring the Hollywood Hills to see
Yeah.
like actors' houses, you're like,
let's
we're
go
gonna
look at squirrels.
let's go look at Squirrel
Yeah,
Bridges.
squirrel bridges, yeah.
I love that. That is what makes our community special and hilarious. And Katie, I will say it since Katie's not here. Katie is a squirrel stan. It is her spirit animal,
Really?
her guiding light. Yes.
Yeah.
So she's very. I don't know if she's gone to a Squirrel Fest though.
She has to have
Can we? Okay, so she's
call
not
her real
here.
quick?
She'll watch this eventually. Maybe no. Okay, so Wayne.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone's in on this now.
It's a
Only
big
you
secret.
guys. It was all her secret. Keep it from Katie. You send this to me and me only, so I can pick the reels for it. Okay? Can we make some kind of squirrel queen designation, and you can award her if I bring her to it?
So 1 year, Lindsay and she's been on your podcast.
Lindsay's a good time.
Lindsay's a great time and a great person in our community.
Mm-hmm.
At any time if she's involved in something and she texts me, Mark, you want to be in? I'm like, if you're involved, I'm involved. Lindsay.
Yeah.
And so 1 year she helped with Squirrel Fest, and they did a court of people from the community that were going to be on the Squirrel Fest court, and then we named I forget what Lindsay called it, but a king and queen of Squirrel Fest. So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Okay, I would like, we don't have to do something official because I don't want us to rig it. That would feel unethical. But can we somehow create like a fake position, title, like a lord, what's the female version of a lord?
A lady.
A lady.
The lady.
The lady.
Milady.
The lady of squirrels, and we'll give
Yeah.
Katie like a cape or something if I buy it. Will
Yes.
you do that?
Oh yeah, I'll
Done.
bring her up on stage too, and we'll just
There you
make
go.
it the whole thing.
Yeah.
People of Cowlitz County, come. This is going to be so funny.
Katie, we hope you enjoyed Hawaii.
This is what you get for
What
going on
happens when
vacation.
you're
Squirrel Fest meets Game of Thrones.
We could like put her through, we could make her do like squirrel obstacle courses. This is great. Okay, I'm going to really think about this. We're going to take this to a good level. Show up to Squirrel Fest and you'll get to see Katie going through whatever hazing we're putting her through
I love it.
to earn her queen status of squirrelhood. Well, we really appreciate you guys. I joke with Katie all the time that I would really like our podcast to be in front of a live studio audience where we also drink alcohol.
Yes.
She doesn't think that works for our vibe, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But if not, you guys just have to keep inviting us on.
Yeah, and we're flirting around with doing a video.
Yeah.
Love it.
If you know a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Wayne Dizzle. Absolutely. Yes. No, that's great. And okay. See, I'll tell Katie that. That'll be my pitch to her. I'll be like, we inspired them to do video. They are inspiring us to drink champagne in the morning.
We don't have a lot of room for a studio audience.
True.
We have like 3 people. We'd be like, we need you 3 people to really be in it because that's all we can fit in here.
Yeah. And switch up the sounds of your voice so it sounds like there's more people in here.
Push the applause button.
Yes.
Right?
Well, maybe we can do it on location sometime and do it in front of a studio audience. We've done a few on location, never in front of an audience, but it does give a different energy.
It is.
Yes.
I love it. We had so much fun on your guys' podcast, and J Squared is a gorgeous setting. That event space is amazing. And it was just fun having people in the audience be able to participate, invite people up to try beers.
Yeah.
If you haven't gone to the Crafted Brewfest podcast recording, it takes place.
It's typically Wednesdays and it's typically
Right.
6 p.m. But it's a couple of things that have to line up. First, and actually it's kind of funny. I think I'm one of probably 2 or 3 people that have Rondell's work schedule for the entire year.
That's
'cause
correct.
He works a rotating shift.
That's correct.
So we line up Rondell's schedule with his work and his family, line up my work schedule and my family stuff as well. Then I reach out to Alex, the manager at J Squared, line up their schedule, and then when all 3 come together and line up,
You find a guest.
Then we find a guest that also the schedule lines up.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm texting Katie and Gabby, and we're shifting things around. But hey, it always comes together.
It
though.
seems like it always lines up with my schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
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 Oh, man. Yes. If you guys haven't gone, and you can find out where the podcast what day the podcast will be recorded by going to your Facebook,
Yep.
Instagram, go like and follow, and then they will announce the beginning of the week or I think
Yeah.
the Friday before when they will be recording the podcast. It
Yep.
is so much fun to go as an audience member. It is on my list of things to start doing is date night.
Absolutely.
I think it's a perfect date night, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a little entertainment and get to have some good food, maybe have a beverage if you want. So follow us on Facebook, Instagram at Crafted Brewfest.
Yes.
Or visit our website that Rondell's always updating. And you can stream the podcast there as well. And
Yeah.
what's the website, Rondell?
J Square have great food. Go to our website is craftedbrewfest.com.
Awesome.
And like I said, it is a great date night. My wife came to a recording, and she's looking to come to more. It's hard for her because, teaching and then with the kids. But,
Yep.
But yeah, come on out. Check it out. Come sample some beer and everything.
Yeah, they have great food. They have great drinks there. And like I said, you guys involve the audience. So they will try beers and then have the audience come up and try little samples of them. So it's very, brings in participation. It's really fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being on today. Truly, we really appreciate
Thank
it. Wayne Dizzle, thank you for being Katie today.
Yeah, I just sat here with my water and did my best.
You did a good job doing it, sir. All right. Well,
If
thank
only
you.
that was champagne.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. And I just want to say
Katie.
thank you, Gabby, and thank you, Katie, even though she's in Hawaii, because you reached out to us and said, hey, let's do we'll come on yours, you come on ours, and I think it's been great, and I appreciate what the 2 of you are doing for the community, and I think we're all just trying to do the same thing, and that's just lift our community and tell the story of our community. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and
And-
actually you said it oh, sorry, Wayne, go
I
ahead.
just want to, before Gabby thanks sponsors, for Michu, I want to hear one thing you're excited about this year at Brewfest.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Like
I'll
one
let
thing
Ron-
coming
I'll
up.
go first.
This year, the 2-day event that Crafted, at least, is doing, not SQUIRRELFEST. So we're doing Friday and a Saturday. So Saturday is actually the main event with SQUIRRELFEST, but we're doing a more soft Friday, launch. We'll be having stand-up comedy going on.
Comedy, it's going to be nutty.
Yeah, I'm
That's
looking
hilarious.
forward to that.
And some music.
Yeah, some music, just having fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good time. Okay, so Friday before SquirrelFest. So this year, SquirrelFest is Saturday the 16th, and there will be a Crafted Brewfest tent at SQUIRRELFEST on Saturday, but there is also an event the night before, Friday night, they're going to have comedy, music.
Exactly. So
Okay.
the fenced off area, it will always be where traditionally, if you go on a Squirrel Fest, you've always seen the beer garden there, but that's just the entire beer festival. We'll probably have close to 40 breweries. And when I say breweries, that also does include cider, hard seltzer. We'll have our friends at Pleasant Hill Distilling. Rondell loved when they were on the podcast.
Yummy.
Yeah, he had a lot of samples.
Okay, where is that at, real quick?
So that's all at Crafted.
But where's you said distillery? Is that the one that's
Oh,
inside?
Pleasant Hill Distilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they brew out of their location on I assume it's on Pleasant Hill, but they don't have an actual tasting room.
Okay, cool.
But you could find they do have their distilled spirits at Hop and Grape and at Scythe Brewing as well.
Ooh.
So it's great to have, and they're our only local distillery, which I think is awesome.
Really
I didn't
good.
even know we had one. That is
Really
so
good.
cool.
Yeah, David Rossi, he's a professor at LCC. Great guy. Him and his business partner, they do it. And so we'll have our local wineries as well. And Roland Wines, Mark Roland, if you know him, you know he's a great guy. Capstone will be there
Capstone.
as well.
Great.
And they were great guests too. And so we'll have them. We'll have all our local breweries. We definitely always like to promote them. We have we work with two different distributors, and they're always great to get us kind of unique breweries that we can't always see here locally.
Yeah.
And of course, we have we're very fortunate to have a great relationship with Fort George, and they are always very generous with us. To not only us, but they also with amazing beers they give us. Some of their rare beers they give us as well. But they also give tons and tons of non-alcoholic beverages for designated drivers and the volunteers throughout the day.
Fantastic.
And we have a couple of really, really awesome breweries that we're going to have. I can't say much yet, but one of them, he said, I could send you beer, but I need you to send me a shipping label because it's the only way to get it actually here to the Northwest. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll show Rondell a text message later, or an Instagram message. I was surprised when he responded quickly. Said, yeah,
Wow.
we can do that. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Love that. That's exciting. So
And-
there's going to be some special treats at this year's Crafted. You better go to find out.
Yeah, and we really can't thank Specialty Rents enough. K-Lock cooking the Blitz. We can't thank J Squared, Shamrock, Porky's. There's so many Quantum Fiber. There's so many sponsors. I know I'm going to miss some. I don't want to miss any, but the sponsors, we thank you, and thank you, Rondell, for bringing the sponsors on our website. Thank you to Brooke, who puts the sponsors on our social media. Right Line Equipment is another one. So just so many sponsors, we thank you.
We love
We'll be
Raylan.
adding tickets for sale on the site pretty soon.
Yep,
Okay.
very
So,
soon.
but
very
yeah, that's
soon.
coming pretty soon.
Yep.
Awesome. We'll make sure to get our tickets. We will be there. Count us in.
Absolutely.
One thing we love to ask our guests before they leave is if you have any hidden gems in Cowlitz County you would like to shout out, whether that's a store, somewhere to eat, just a park even. What's a hidden gem in Cowlitz County that you guys enjoy?
Oh, Rondell's looking at me to go first. I was hoping Rondell would go first. Hidden gem so I love going and getting lunch on occasion at Euro Zeros.
Yes.
That food is great. It's all farm to table. It's all local. The owners are great as well.
So true. Yes. When we say farm to table, like I'm pretty sure the honey he uses in like some of his makings is honey from his beehive in his backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Like
The blackberries in this soda, which will probably be out later in the summer. It's like that's right there next to my house.
Yep.
That's
This
pretty
morning.
cool.
Yeah, they used to be in the mall. Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're right here in Commerce now.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
right down the street here.
Yep. Zeros. Very good.
For me, I'd say I'll go to reward to ourselves, Sushi Sakura.
I love it.
Very authentic, I think, very homemade-y. You know, like even if you don't want sushi, just the chicken teriyaki.
Yeah.
You know, to me, that's like more people need to know about this.
Yeah, I agree. Okay,
Yeah.
so Sushi Sakura.
Yep.
And that's the one on Ocean Beach Highway,
That's
right?
Ocean Beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
And next
Awesome.
to, it's across from next to that gas station with the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sinclair.
Yep.
St.
Yep.
Clair's, that's what it is, yeah.
Yes, they do have really good sushi there. I agree. Well, thank you guys for coming. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you both for having us.
Yes.
Thanks for
And
having us.
thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors, ServPro of Longview Kelso and JoJo and Coco Boutique, for helping us put this podcast on. We couldn't do it without you. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.